Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Nikki, you also known as Faces Trader, and you are watching the Awesome 10X Live here for Global Market Update on August 26, 2020. And for today, these are the news that I want to share, or just a few snippets that I want you guys to know about. Indeed, if I tell you that obvious 10X winners such as Facebook or Spotify or C Limited or Roku, that you would make still great money in them, you'd say that you can't make so much money on the obvious. Guess what? I do think that 10X moves can still happen in the obvious because usually everybody likes an overnight sensation instead of decades of sensations. What do I mean with this? Okay, we did discuss that Facebook, if you remember in our Free Friday class, a couple of days ago, we did say that at 250, that this was the gap up of Facebook after their great earnings report. And that was something that I covered. If you have been watching our show, that would be covered at about August 3 or August 4, somewhere that time. And you can just check out the videos there. And actually, I made a company profile pic. Making the title was "Making Money While Sleeping." It was kind of me saying that if Facebook went 250 all the way to 220, that I'd be a buyer of Facebook. It never fell to 220. Only the 250 got hit. And so right now it's 280. Facebook announced more e-commerce solutions yesterday. There was news that Facebook and BigCommerce was having a lot of partnerships. Of course, BigCommerce is a Shopify competition. And a lot of people were saying that, well, this was in the prospectus already of BigCommerce. How come people are quite surprised about this news? I'd say that yes, most people don't read the prospectus, and that's why those who read the S1 filings typically are more aware. That said, BigCommerce is not as great as Shopify. I'd stick to Shopify when it comes to valuations. So I think that because BigCommerce is being priced in more expensively than Shopify, I think that this is a case for Shopify tonight to actually get re-rated from 1,040 all the way back to about new highs, could be 1,415. If people are willing to pay a premium for Big C, which I don't think should be warranted, then Shopify had to be more expensive than BigCommerce. That is my personal view. Now, of course, C Limited, if people are willing to pay high, why not pay expensively for what is truly growing? C Limited got a gap up here on their earnings front, and C Limited, after their earnings, we did cover this again. You can just watch our prior videos in Awesome 10X. This is an everyday update. So we did say that we like the C Limited earnings, and we wanted to buy more C Limited. It looks like C Limited is something that everybody also loves, that we cannot really buy it on any dips. So looks like this is also going to go all-time highs tonight. So at 155, if you still don't have your C Limited, do check out our videos on C Limited coverage. We made a free class Friday pick for C Limited at about $60 prior to their earnings call. And we also highlighted more again of C Limited even before earnings. So we truly like this company. And I believe that everybody likes this company as well. So it's fine. We can all like the same company. It doesn't matter if you are buying today, as long as you are tranching it out. If you're buying at 155, do note that it can fall 140 or 120. Any drops there should be seen as a buying opportunity. Now, let me just discuss. Roku had an earnings front, and it was actually sold down after earnings from about 165. It fell down here to 147, back to the price before the earnings. So did Roku actually have a bad earnings? Actually, no. Let me read to you a few things on the industry report on advanced TV. Streaming is indeed the potential of advanced TV. Advanced TV has been top of mind for all the marketers and brands as they've been trying to leverage this potential. In a Limelight report found in 2017 and 2019, consumer viewing on smart TVs and connected devices have increased by 26%. Stay-at-home orders under COVID have only accelerated this trend. In fact, from January to May, Data from Sanders platform reflected a 110% increase in CTV, connected TV impressions sold, and a 50% increase in video impressions sold in the APAC region alone. That's Asia Pacific alone. Asia is predicted to be one of the fastest growing countries for online video globally. In fact, by 2024, about 4 years from now, the industry is expected to double. From about current levels, it's expected to double to $52 billion, and it's also expected for a growth of 4.5% annually compared to 2.5% in North America. So you could see that Asia Pacific is truly one of the highest growth entities in the world. In fact, in another story from Zuora is of course making reports. They are the subscription economy of the world. Zuora benefits from handling the Netflix, the subscription rates, all those Netflix subscription wherein you're paying monthly or annually is actually powered by your Zuora, or even your Zoom video bills. Subscription rate, you could see that the OTT, over the top video streaming, is the most resilient. So these were the highest rates versus, say, digital news media. These are the second. Digital news media, e-learning, which is online education, communication software, IT services, memberships, telco, general software for small and medium businesses, consumer Internet of Things, and business Internet of Things. By this chart alone, it tells you that OTT video streaming is on the verge of, it's really on the cusp of a long-term uptrend. So we have been bullish on Roku for quite a while. You could see that there are no selling. All the selling are just in short-term nature. If we are selling, it's usually just because we don't have money anymore and we want to buy a new company. And so we are trimming our gains. But I do believe that Roku continues higher. And in my view, this one goes maybe 250 in the next couple of months or years. So for those who aren't aware who Roku is, probably put this on your watch list. These are some no-brainer ideas that we keep on harping out to people. What else do I want to share? I did share about Qualcomm already. So that is an all-time high. You can do your due diligence for that. You can also just go to our Awesome 10X and read or listen to our understanding of what Qualcomm is truly doing. Of course, SunPower is, of course, let me just read to you that SunPower is an Awesome 10X pick that we have been buying since about July. Indeed, in July, we covered this name, not at 7 though, we covered it somewhere at about 9 to 10. And we reiterated more buys here at about 10 to 11. So thankfully, it's now materialized. It's now 13.50. That said, you should know that we aren't sellers. Indeed, if you're watching our Awesome 10X channel for quite a while now, you know that I'm a person who actually learns to hold long term. So we did say that there will be a Maxion spinoff. That would be free Maxion shares. And so we are up so far 35-40% up, depending if we entered at 9 or 10, or we even average up at 11. On August 26th, the proposed distribution date for the spinoff will be distributed to all the holders of SunPower shares. That would be an 8:1 ratio. Maxion is going to be trading tonight on August 27. The ticker symbol is MAXN. That would be Maxion spinoff. SunPower holders do not need to take any action to receive Maxion shares. They're entitled to it. And then, of course, the distribution shouldn't be taxable to SunPower shareholders for Singapore withholding and income tax and for U.S. federal income tax purposes. So this is something that we have been discussing inside our inner circle. And SunPower, of course, is one of our picks. This one is just really me being fascinated with the K-pop generation. However, I'm telling you that I can't even buy Korean companies. So that said, YG Entertainment looks to be 100% up already from its lows, 20,000 to 45,000 to 50,000. And should they continue to go higher, it's really more a function of more and more people really getting consumer entertainment through streaming videos on demand. It actually ties up with our view that with entertainment, the platforms would be your Netflix, your Roku, and of course your music and your audio, Spotify through podcasts. So definitely, we have been buying here and buying here and buying here. Continue to buy and go long. These are 10x winners. So these are companies that we see going longer term up. So even if it goes down to about 240 or 200, that means that we are continuing to buy even on crashes. Our view is that a 20% crash doesn't mean much if you're missing out on a 200% gain. Of course, last night we do said about FMCI and Graph. Continually buy FMCI. Take a look at Tattooed Chef. We've been buying at 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, continue to buy there even at 17 and 17.5. It looks like it's a winner. So let's just hold on to it as high as it goes. So we're just trailing our winners here. As for Graph, for those who aren't aware, this is a special purpose acquisition vehicle. Yes, we have been buying all throughout 18, 16, 14, 16, 18. It reached a size 19, and last night it closed at 18.30. Continually, I would still hold on to this name. Those who have cash can continue to hold on to Graph. So what else are the winners last night? Of course, some EV continues higher. So this is wrong of me. I think that it was a sell somewhere at 14, 16. NEO went up. There was news that NEO, some of us actually bought. I didn't buy though, but some of them did. They actually bought somewhere yesterday at about 15, 16. There was news of NEO about the battery leasing agreements. And I said that if NEO was something that they liked, actually, I would say I'll go more for Workhorse. So I'd rather get Workhorse. So sell here, but buy back Workhorse. Indeed, Workhorse indeed closed up 18 bucks. I bought Workhorse last night at 17. One of my predictions, of course, is wearable devices. So I've been buying this since here. It was a bagger for me, 85 cents, 84 cents. Went as high as 180. Actually, this was 99 cents. I didn't even buy here. Yesterday, I bought again at 140, 140 to 130. I did buy again some Imagine, wearables. So yesterday, there was news that wearables, AAPL, Apple bought a VR company. It was Space. So I'm going to read to you Apple VR firm Space. So I think like the VR, the virtual reality firm acquisition of Apple only solidified the vision that I think that the world is going to go really fully virtual. And so in the virtual world, there will be a lot of companies that will benefit: Samsung, Apple, Google. Of course, the wearable trend is something that I do believe is a secular trend. And why don't we read this together? Apple by Spaces is a VR startup that is going to do immersive Zoom experiences. So video conferences that are very out of this world. Apple has quietly made another small virtual reality acquisition. The company has bought Spaces. Sorry, let's skip this ad. Either way, so this is what a virtual space looks like. So it's an immersive Zoom experience, courtesy of Spaces. It recently pivoted to launch a VR extension for video conferencing platforms like Zoom and Skype. Then Apple representative confirmed the purchase, declined to comment further. Space was founded in 2016 by two former DreamWorks animation executives. Company created several location-based VR experiences installed at theme parks, theaters, including multiplayer game, Terminator Salvation, and Fight for the Future. So I'm actually very bullish, not just with Apple. I'm very bullish with. Actually, I'm not quite bullish with Apple. I'm quite bullish on the wearable trend. And I'd say that with the wearable trend, yes, you could make maybe 100% on Apple, wait about 5 to 10 years. But you can probably make 10x your money in the companies that are in the VR, that are in the wearable trends. That's why Vuzix was something that I discussed. I did discuss Copen and Max, and honestly, guys, you get a lot of free info from me. But yeah, this one is Imagine, Copen. Copen, of course, is Google and Samsung's partner, and also what I believe would be Microsoft's partner. So yeah, so these wearables are a continuous buy for me. Yesterday, Copen gave a buy signal. So at 139, 140, 135, I do think that the bias here is a buying entry for Copen. So there was a buy there. I did buy some Copen last night. I also bought some Eman. And even if Copen goes down to 120, I would be a willing buyer. So I'm a buyer here. In fact, if you've bought somewhere here at 180, I'd say go buy more at 120 or 140. So I think that we are winners here in the wearable trend. There's more companies. There's really a lot of great 10x winners, IPOs, SPACs, Do put some time into reading them yourself, or just go to go invest with us here with Awesome 10x. Let me try to read on comments. Jashin said, "Woohoo, go see limited." Yes. Hey Nikki, what do you think of a fan financial IPO? It really depends on the valuation per se. I think that the Ant Financial IPO has been bought through Alibaba and SoftBank. I have been explaining that Alibaba has been rising courtesy of Ant Financial. From 200 now it's 286, so it's about 40+% up. Even just yeah, because the Ant Financial IPO didn't just happen last night. It happened quite a few months ago, already being planned. So it's something that the market has already priced in a 40% premium already. So it really depends on the prospectus, but Ant Financial getting expensive is a positive wave for SoftBank. So SFTBY or 9984, it only solidifies my argument that SoftBank is, which is the biggest stakeholder of Alibaba, should actually be benefiting from this IPO. Not just this IPO, but practically every IPO out there, which SoftBank has been making 300% mula every now and then. There's a question, Graph or GMHI. What is the issue with Aero and SMG? Okay, let's discuss some Aero. Any revised thoughts on NEO? Let's talk about the questions one by one. Between Graph or GMHI, they are both LiDAR companies. I haven't studied GMHI, which is going to be Luminar Technologies. It has a lot of hype today because, of course, it was a Peter Thiel backed. Give me some time, but I think that a lot of people are interested with GMHI. But Graph hasn't been fully valued correctly. So I'd say that just because GMHI is there doesn't mean that you have to sell your Graph. In fact, it might be that because both of them are listed, that both of them will be valued well. What is the issue with Aero and Scott's Miracle Grow? Scott's Miracle Grow is actually a company that has been benefiting with the Botanicare, the big secular trend of growers. So that means that Scott's Miracle Grow, which is a $10 billion company, wants to cheapify and really lowball Aero, despite Aero growing 267% on their quarterly revenues year on year. For those who aren't aware, Aero was given a lowball number of $1.75. Aero was trading at about $5.25, $5.50, above $5 before this announcement. Scott's Miracle Grow already owns 80% of Aero. And there are talks that Scott's Miracle Grow wants to fully privatize Aero. Think about it. Why would Scott's Miracle Grow want to privatize Aero? Because Aero is growing in leaps and bounds. Aero is really cheap, at less than $100 million today. And so they wanted to cheapify it. If I'm going to pay 20% stake of a $100 million company, I'm paying $20 million cheaper than if I pay it at a $200 million market cap or a $300 million market cap. Typically, in an M&A, the buyer wants to buy at the cheapest price, which is Scott Miracle Grow truly wants to buy Aero at the cheaper price. And because Scott Miracle Grow already owns 80% of that, they have a huge financial interest to dump, for SMG to dump Aero just to get the cheap price. So that's what I think. But Aero, of course, is complaining. Take note that Aero only has 40 employees. 40 employees, of course, it could be very difficult to fight SMG. Whatever the drama saga is, I'd say that Aero would try to defend their share price, that they're not worth $1.75. Right now, the price is $3.50, higher, 100% higher than the so-called buyout price. Either way, I'd say that Aero will be integrated inside Scott's Miracle Grow. So whatever happens, you'd either get Scott Miracle Grow shares or Aero will haggle with a higher price. If it's really low, Aero might never sell. So that's what I think between the issue with Aero and Scott's Miracle Grow. Are there any revised thoughts on NEO? Usually I wouldn't buy it even if it's up. So I think that the upside is a trade. It's not to me an investment. So yeah, if I can't see myself buying and holding the company for the next 10 years, I probably would just not be involved in it. So most of the EV vehicles today are priced quite a lavish valuation. So I'm not really quite bullish on lavish payments. If I'm gonna pay a lavish price, I'd rather go for Workhorse. So when Neo was rising last night, I went for Workhorse instead. Hi, Miss Nikki. Is Limelight Network still good to buy and hold? Are you bullish on Elastic? I am bullish on Limelight Networks, even if it's just down here at about $6 below. I do think that it's a company that I think would benefit from the video streaming on demand. So yes, I'm bullish on Limelight. I think that it's still good to buy and hold. If you buy it at 6, you just need to really wait. It doesn't have to be your core position if the market truly likes Fastly. I think that Fastly is too expensive, but maybe it is expensive at the price. So I could be wrong. But I do think that the demand is in edge compute. Limelight has edge compute by themselves as well. There's a question: are you bullish on Elastic? Yes, I am bullish on Elastic, but I haven't studied if I want to buy it at $100. ESTC right now is 100, right? So ESTC, I haven't reviewed the numbers. So I know it's an all-time high. I liked this before, somewhere at about, I remember buying this at 75, something like that. And then I sold something like 90 last year. So yeah, I sold somewhere here. I have bought somewhere here at 75, then I sold it at 95, 96. Then I never went back in. I'll have to review what happened in the last few quarters for Elastic. I haven't been reading on Elastic for quite a while now. But yes, this is an all-time high move. Sure looks a good chart, probably earnings related. So I can't say much if I didn't study it. Thoughts about Sony? Sony right now is at 85 yen. I think that my target is at 10,000 yen. So maybe 15% upside. I don't think there's a lot of downside. To be honest, I did say that even at 7,000 yen that I was still going to be willing to buy it, especially on that Epic Games acquisition and all the really great numbers of Sony, plus of course that PS5, all the catalyst really. But I think at 8.5, I might hold on by, I might hold off buying. That doesn't mean that I don't like it. I just think that it's not like a no-brainer buy for me. Amat, may laban pa kaya? Amat is a semiconductor company that Applied Materials ba? Applied Materials yan, di ba? I didn't study this kasi. I know that it's a 5G play, but I didn't really study it. So for companies that I never studied much, pasensya. Hindi ako fully in-depth coverage on my semiconductors. So on semiconductors, hindi ko masyado naaral si Amat. I know that it's a 5G play though. So yun lang alam ko. Surface knowledge lang. So yun. I think that there's a lot of good companies. Vertical farming is something that I'm bullish on. A lot of people have been asking me, Nikki, are you now down with Grow Generation? Are you selling that? Actually, I was surprised that Ocado these days have rallied up. I think it just shows to me that, so like with Ocado, I've been buying somewhere at about 1.2, 1.4, and also here at about 700, 800. I remember buying here. So I am very much surprised that Ocado continues to go higher. But I think that I shouldn't be surprised eh. To be honest, I'm always wrong in my selling. I usually sell early and then they go 100% higher. So right now, I really don't want to sell anymore. Because every time I buy, it just goes times 3, times 4, times 5. So ayoko na magbenta. MG Tan is asking, how do we know what price can we enter to buy 10x picks when they're now at all-time highs? Do go to my awesome 10x class. I tell people that there are some companies that even if you're buying them at current prices, at August or at July, that you can still make about 10x. Of course, that 10x is about 5 to 6 years, not like 5 months. So people are actually surprised that we've got picks like 50% up, 100% up. Some of them, of course, were purchased on May, April, but some of them are actually up 100%, even if they were just bought July and August. So definitely a 10x company falls into secular trend winners. So you've heard me say about SunPower a while ago. SunPower is actually a July pick. Some of our wearables are actually July picks. If you really study them thoroughly, you'd understand why they were up 50%, 100%, even in just a single month, and why they would continue to grow higher and higher. So it really is an outperformance. I'm proud to say that even if Grow Generation fell, to be honest, I only actively explained about it 12 to 9. It's not as if like we were, in fact, we ourselves were surprised that, wow, in just a week, our Grow Generation went 20 to 22. There's a question, yung GameStop ba medyo related siya sa Sony and PS5 and Xbox console play? It's a consumer value pick. I'm not too much in love with value picks. With GME, I know that Michael Burry practically bought everything $4 to $3. Now at $5, Michael Burry could also sell it to you at $5. I am not quite a big fan of buying cheap companies, even if I know that, well, it's probably worth $7, $8. I do think that GameStop and Funko are very much intertwined. In fact, I'd say that GameStop is doing well indeed with consoles. They're selling some consoles. They're selling all these geek stuff. But with digital sales all throughout, you have seen anyway that Nintendo has sold 400% everything on digital, who's buying everything on the brick and mortar store. GameStop will continue to bleed, or it has to be repurposed. So it's not something that I would love. There's a question, how about Coca-Cola and Pepsi? I am not too much of a fan, to be honest. Coca-Cola is good, okay, at $45. The thing about this is that you would have 20x your money in the last 40 years if you bought Coca-Cola at $2, not at $45. So medyo, I'm not really interested in making 10, 20% gains, guys. I think with Coca-Cola, you'll make 10 to 20% a year, and then you'll make 5% dividends a year, and that's it. 3%. Coca-Cola pays 3% a year. So thank you for the new feedback. Any upcoming IPOs that interest you? Yes, I'm interested with Snowflake IPO. I'm interested with Snowflake. I've already covered Snowflake in our class discussions. And I think like in general, there will be a lot of companies that are interesting. Of course, I'm not like someone who buys on the first day, but it's something that is in my radar. So I think I'm also going to study some of those questions that you guys asked. I'm going to study that Luminar technology better. And maybe I will go delve more into virtual reality. I'll discuss virtual reality inside my Awesome 10X paid classes. What the Apple buying Spaces VR has to do with education, with Zoom video conferencing, all of those kinds of topics. And then, of course, what Ant Financial IPO will do to the Stripe IPO coming out, and what it will do for the existing fintech players that are already listed in the market. So really, whenever an IPO comes out, it just really makes every boat rising tide, diba? Rising tide lifts all boats. If Ant Financial is expensive, it's going to make Square, StoneCo, PayPal, all of the payment firms will just go more expensive. That's really how I think. And of course, it makes Tencent expensive too, diba? So those types of things. Okay, thank you very much. See you again tomorrow, and do watch the Awesome 10X. Tomorrow is Thursday, and then on Friday, it's always a free class pick. Take note at our track record, all of our free class picks. How did our free class picks do? So that will already tell you how the Awesome 10X course, is it worth your time? The fact that I do a lot of free classes every day, and even deep dive free classes on Friday, it tells you how much devotion and update I give to my class and my students. So it's really something that I think is worth your money. You can, of course, watch me for free. I also appreciate that. Do share the Awesome Tennis channel to your friends and family, especially our free Friday class picks. I think that would really help you. Our free Friday class picks are deep dives, and that's what really happens ongoing every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's really what I do every day. So that's really how I uncover our Awesome 10x picks. I do read a lot, IPOs, SPACs, whatever's happening in the market. So yeah, that's really how we uncover our winners. Reading a lot, research a lot of things really. So yeah. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.